Shut off that alarm clock, man. Every morning it's the same old thing. Bling-a-ling-a-ling, that alarm clock ring is driving me insane. That clock ain't nothing but a Simon agree. It's just got a bell where its heart should be. Bling-a-ling-a-ling, how I hate that thing. It snags like a ball and chain. I'm gonna throw it away so it will never say bling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. One night I dreamt my mother-in-law had finally planned to move out before next spring.
That's great.
I was saying goodbye and shaking her hand when, man, ain't that a mess? I dreamt I had a porterhouse steak that was cooked just right with french fries and everything. But just as soon as I got set to take one bite, I heard, man, ain't that a killer? You're the only heir, the lawyer said to me. So you get $50,000 in cash.
Good Lord.
But just as he handed me all that dough, I heard, man, ain't that a drag? I dreamt a beautiful chick in a fine silk dress was melting right in my arms. She had just closed her eyes and whispered yes when, doggone the luck. Bling-a-ling-a-ling, I could stomp that thing, it sure rubs against my grain. There's cotton stuck in my ear, but I can plainly hear bling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Now my brother gave me a clock on my birthday. On Christmas, I got one from his girl. And on my anniversary, my good neighbors gave me 3. I'm the waking up in guy in all the world. It's the same old thing, every morning, bling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
The MUCC official, Harry Markle, says total employment in the city on April 15th was 38,600. The figure in March was 37,400 and 35,900 in February. In Markle's words, whereas the percentage of unemployed a year ago was nearly 24%, today it is a little over 12%. This marks a decrease of 2,000 from the figure of last month and 3,500 from 2 months ago. According to Markle, part of the upswing in employment has been a result of industrial expansion. He lists the state's only remaining distressed area as the Upper Peninsula. Markle cites a recent upsurge in the Upper Peninsula as offering still more encouragement. The Anaconda Copper Company has hired 300 men from Ishpeming, Ontonagon, Calumet, Iron River, and Iron Mountain in the last week. Here's the weather forecast for lower Michigan. Mostly cloudy Sunday with rain or snow beginning Sunday in the north portion. Continued cold with a low tonight of 28 in the north and 36 in the south. The high Sunday will be 36 to 40 in the north, 40 to 45 in the south. For upper Michigan, mostly cloudy and continued cold Sunday with snow beginning Sunday. The Flint temperature at the moment, 38 degrees. You've just heard the latest news from the WFDF News Service and the Associated Press. Listen for our next newscast at 12 midnight, and stay tuned now for late sports news to follow in just a moment. You are listening to Flint's first station, WFDF, first in Flint. Here's the Baseball Extra. News and views from the baseball world presented by the Frankenmuth Brewing Company, brewers of Frankenmuth, the beer that satisfies every taste. Well, it was a day for streaks in the major leagues. The St. Louis Browns broke a 5-game losing streak by whipping Cleveland 5-1, and in doing so, they also snapped a 4-game Cleveland winning streak. Joe Ostrowski made his first pitching start of the season for St. Louis and held the Tribe to 6 hits. He walked only 1 and struck out 1. The Browns got only 7 hits, but they knocked Bob Lemon out of the box with a 3-run blast in the 6th inning, a spree that was started by Ray Coleman's first home run of the year. Cleveland scored its only run in the 7th on a double by Jim Hegan and a single by Johnny Berardino. That was the only afternoon game played in the American League. The Chicago White Sox and Detroit were not scheduled, while rain forced the postponement of the Philadelphia A's Boston Red Sox game. The New York Yankees are playing the Washington Senators in Washington tonight, and at the end of 6 innings, the score is Yanks 4, Washington 2. In the National League today, the Philadelphia Phillies scored their 3rd straight victory as they edged the Boston Braves 2-1. Rookie Bob Miller, up from Terre Haute, pitched 6-hit ball for the Phils. He walked 5 but struck out 7. He also contributed a single to the Phils' winning 2-run rally in the 3rd inning. Sam Jethro was the only Boston batter to give him trouble. Jethro had a double and a single and was nipped at home by a step on an attempted double steal in the 7th. Boston loaded the bases with 2 out in the 9th, but Miller got Earl Torgeson on a liner to right fielder Del Ennis. The Cincinnati Reds, who lost their first 6 games, scored their 2nd straight victory, beating Boston 14-6. The Reds pounded 4 Pirate pitchers for 17 hits, including 5 doubles and home runs by Ted Kluszewski and Ron Northey. Pirate starter Bob Chestnut was the loser, while relief pitcher Ed Erott got the win, taking over for Frank Smith in the 2nd inning and going on from there. Rain forced the postponement of a scheduled afternoon game between the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants at New York, and a night game between the Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis Cards at St. Louis. Here's tomorrow's Major League Baseball schedule with the probable starting pitchers. New York is at Washington in the American League, Rashi and Hudson. Detroit at Chicago, 2 games at doubler. Trucks and Hutchinson or Hardiman versus White and Hefner. Philadelphia at Boston, 2 games, Fowler and Brissy or Coleman oppose Dobson and Stubbs or Poppy. St. Louis at Cleveland, 2 games, Starr and Fannin against Wynn and Garcia. In the National League, Brooklyn at New York, Hatton or Banta face Jones or Jansen. Boston at Philadelphia, 2 games, Roy and Donovan against Meyer and Roberts. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati, a doubleheader. Chambers and Queen oppose Raffensperger and Fox. Chicago at St. Louis, Schmitz or Rush against Rakim. Turning to other sports briefly, 23-year-old Pat O'Sullivan of Orange, Connecticut won the North and South Women's Golf Tournament at Pinehurst, North Carolina today with a 3-2 win over Mrs. Estelle Lawson Page. The Southern Intercollegiate Golf Tournament at Athens, Georgia was won today by Arnold Palmer of Wake Forest. Jamaica's richest race, the $60,000 Gallant Fox Handicap, was won by Robert J. Kleberg's Better Self, and that's sports to you. Say it's Golden Jubilee year. Yes, this year marks the 50th anniversary of Frankenmuth beer, and to celebrate their Golden Jubilee, they're brewing an extra special beer, a beer that's aged longer, brewed with a premium dry flavor found in no other beer. Their old friends say it's the finest beer Frankenmuth has ever brewed. New friends say it's the finest beer they've ever tasted. Serve this delicious Frankenmuth beer in your home every day. You'll like Frankenmuth beer at noontime, dinner time, or party time, any time at all. Watch how folks really go for those tasty glasses of extra Frankenmuth goodness. You'll see their eyes light up at the first delicious sip. Remember, all the Frankenmuth beer now at your favorite store or tavern is Frankenmuth Golden Jubilee. Order a generous supply right away. It may be a long time before you'll be able to enjoy a beer with all the qualities of a premium brew without paying 1 cent extra. Help celebrate Frankenmuth's Golden Jubilee. Get Frankenmuth beer today. Listen again tomorrow evening at 10:15 and also Monday evening at 6:10 and 11:10 when the Frankenmuth Brewing Company of Frankenmuth, Michigan, brewers of Frankenmuth, the beer that satisfies every taste, will present the Baseball Extra. This is WFDF, First in Flint. Edward McHugh, the well-known and popular radio gospel singer, now comes your way over WFDF each Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. Tune in and hear a quarter hour of hymns that strike home. A different kind of philosophy that will add pleasure and inspiration to your Sundays. That's WFDF Sundays at 1 o'clock for Edward McHugh in your Gospel Singer. Well, fans, right now we're going to turn our attention to Cedric Tallis, the business manager of the Flint Arrows, who was selected by the Detroit Baseball Club to guide the Flint Arrows to perhaps a pennant this year. That is, along with the playing manager. And so I'd like to welcome Cedric to the WFDF microphone and say howdy.
How do you do, Tom?
Cedric, there's been quite a campaign, I understand, in your hands to gather information from the Flint fans as to how they can improve the game and the performance and so on, and the turnout at Atwood Stadium.
Yes, Tom, we've gotten some very fine suggestions, and we have now been able to put into effect a number of them. For one thing, with the cooperation of the city and the stadium committee and the park board, we have new parking facilities in line before the start of the season. There will be room for about 500 cars down next to the river.
Well, Cedric, do you mind if I interrupt here? Was that one of the major complaints?
Yes, it certainly was. Parking was one of the most important points mentioned in the questionnaire. And after all, a survey of all the stadiums and auditoriums in the country has indicated that there is no stadium capable of more or less taking care of itself on the revenue unless there is adequate parking. So in line with that, I think it's going to help a lot if that will be accomplished before the start of the season, and it will if the weather permits. In addition, there will be new sidewalks on each side of the stadium to permit the people to walk up, and then after the game is over, we'll throw those big gates open and allow them to walk out across the field.
Or run out.
Yeah, that's right. Then another thing that's been done is the improving the seating. There will be over 1,100 seats for the general admission fans this year that have backs on them.
Oh, that's quite a change. There were just a few grandstand seats, if I remember correctly, last year.
There wasn't one seat last year for the general admission customer with a back. But there will be 1,100 of them this year. And in order to get that 1,100 number, there are 775 that will be added, and we've thrown open 300 reserve seats behind the screens that will be general admission this year, cutting our reserve seats to 480. Another item, of course, is the prices. And we realize the fact that that is an item by decreasing them for the coming season, roughly 10%.
That, Cedric, is one of the things also that you gathered from the information from the letters sent to you by the Flint fans.
That's right. And another item, too, in line with the prices, is the addition of a student ticket, which has never been done before. So with the addition of the student ticket and the decrease in prices, our prices now are lower than any other club in the Central League. And then the starting time is another point. We're going to start our games at 7:30, thus enabling the fans to get home and get to sleep and get a night's sleep before they get up early in the morning, or even those that go to work at 11 can come and see a ball game. Another item was the concession stands. Many people thought that there weren't adequate facilities, so there will be another concession booth added on the first base side. That's roughly the major points in that, and I feel confident that I think the results will justify the effort that is being put forth by the city, the park board, and the ball club to make the stadium a little more comfortable place to go.
Well, Cedric, I personally like the confidence that you put in the Flint fans in asking them their suggestions and following through and following some of the suggestions they make. Well, let's get to the ball club now. I understand the boys left yesterday morning for, what's the name of that place again, Cedric?
Well, it's pronounced Kissimmee, Florida.
Kissimmee.
Kissimmee, Kissimmee, Florida.
Now, how long will the boys be down there before they start on the trek north?
Well, they'll open training on the 29th. We'll have about 32 boys down there from the Flint Club and about the same number from Williamsport. And they'll work out and play a few exhibition games. Then on the 18th, after rounding into shape, or rather the 19th, the Flint Club will start north playing an exhibition game at Jacksonville, Florida. Then they'll head up into the Carolinas and play 4 or 5 games up there before the opener on the 26th of April at Charleston, West Virginia.
Well, Cedric, will we see any new faces in the Flint Arrows this year?
I think there will be definitely a great many new faces. The roster at the present time, Tom, really doesn't indicate the extent of the changes. It's useless for us to move players around at this time of year until we decide where they're going to play. But I was talking on the phone last night with Ray Kennedy, our farm director, and he assured me that we were going to have some additional help, perhaps from our higher classification clubs, and that they would be the type players that the Flint fans have been asking for. In other words, that colorful long ball hitter.
That's right.
And I'm particularly interested in acquiring for manager Gene Desautel's that long ball hitting left-handed hitter for that 310-foot right field fence at Atwood Stadium.
Say, Cedric, how about George Lurchin? who happens to be down in the tiger training camp.
Well,
right now.
I'm certainly not thinking of George lurching for Flint, but I hope that, and I have in mind a certain fellow that may make them forget George lurching.
Would you like to let us in on it?
Well, we can't do that at this time because until the move is made, it might, I kind of like to wait until my chickens are hatched before counting them.
I see. Well, Cedric, it's certainly been a pleasure having you here on our sports review, and we certainly, in addition, wish you every success in your new job up here as business manager of the Flint Baseball Club.
Thanks very much, Tom, and I have every hope of being very happy here this summer because it's a great town.
Thank you, and goodbye.
In Kansas City, nearly complete returns from the city election show almost a clean sweep for the Citizens Association, which KO'd the Pendergast machine 11 years ago. Mayor William Kemp has defeated his challenger Ben Stofford. Only one Democrat is reported in the lead in any of the 12 city races. 11 Boy Scouts and their leader have been marooned in a snowstorm 11 miles west of Evergreen, Colorado. 2 crews of men working a pair of snowplows are attempting to cut their way through the hills to reach the scout camp. However, 8 inches of snow has fallen and local officials report it's still snowing. Ice jams and thawing weather are threatening floods from Minnesota west to Montana. 2 rivers are already over their banks in North Dakota, and weather observers warn heavy rains during the next few days could bring real trouble. In South Dakota, ice is breaking up on the Big Sioux River. Planes are standing by to bomb any serious ice pileups.
Call Mama. Call Mama. Call Granny. Call Granny. Call Kay. Kay? Where's the kitty? Call the kitty. Kitty, kitty. Call Mama again. Now call Granny. Where's Suzu? Talk on the telephone. Talk on the telephone. Talk on the telephone. Talk on the telephone. Call Mama. Call Mama. What's that? What's that there? What? What's that? What's that? Huh? Dad? Call Daddy. What does the doggy do? What does the kitty do? Want some ice cream? Want some pop? Want some pop? Want some pop? Pop? Want some ice cream? Go, Mama. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Call the doggy. Doggy, doggy. What's that? What's that? Talk on the telephone. Talk on the telephone. Call Susan. Call Susan. Susan. Call Kay. Call Kay. Want some ice cream? Want some ice cream? Want some pop? Some pop? Pop? Where's Mama? Where's Granny? Where's Daddy?
Where's Daddy?
Call Granny. Call Granny. 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 Granny.
The door? Door? The mama. The mama.
Where's the telephone? Where's the telephone?
Who did this?
Did he go and grab out of the store? Hmm? What does the big car do? What does the big car do? What does the car do?
How does the car go?
How does the car go? What else? What does the car go? Mama. That's a good one. Sing, baby. Sing, baby. Sing into... Come on. Okay. Come, kitty. Kitty, kitty. Come, kitty. Sit. What does the doggy do? How does the doggy go? Read the paper. Read the paper. Who's that? Read the paper. Who's that? Who's that? Who? Who's that paper? Who? Who? Who's that? Read the paper. Who's that?